Re-up, Alex.
It's BMO.
Mas Paz, Federico.
Yeah, it's another episode with a visual artist on the podcast, which is something that really excites me. It's always really interesting because obviously these people who create things that are for your eyes, sometimes we have people who are listening just on audio, so it's good to actually get the words behind those paintings, those pieces of art. Not that you can't create those meanings, on your own, but straight from the source. Mas Paz, we really touched on a lot of his process and a lot of what inspires him to do the things that he does and the communities that he touches. Also got a little deeper into the current happenings of the world, where he came from, where he's going. Okay, we're back.
What's up, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We're here with Mas Paz.
What's up? How you doing?
Mas Paz.
Well,
What's the
my
word,
people.
brother?
Aquí todo bien, mi brother.
Okay, for sure.
We here, bro. We're here, man. Thank you for having me.
No problem,
It's an honor to be here and love the space. I'm happy to talk. I'm excited to hear what we're going to rap about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good to have you here. And, something we were talking about outside when you were coming in is, Northern Virginia. And I don't think we've had a couple people who reside in Northern Virginia. And, I know you have a deeper story than that, but yeah, how is it being over there, man? It's changing a lot.
Yeah, tell us about the V and DMV.
Yeah.
Man, so I'm from Bogota, Columbia, born in Bogota. And I came here when I was a year old. Came to DC over by Glover Park. My mom, she had a house out there, so I moved in there. We moved there. And then she got married, and then we, about 2 years later, we moved over to Arlington.
Okay.
And I've pretty much been there, just take care of my house, take care of my fam. I lived in New York for a while.
Okay.
For about 7 years, I was in Brooklyn from 2007 to 2012, 13. Oh, excuse me, 2006 to 2012.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to Brazil for a little while, South America for 6 months. And then I was like, man, where am I going to go? I was literally on this boat going up the Amazon River, sleeping in hammocks and stuff, passing indigenous communities and stuff. And I was like, man, where am I going to go next? And I was like, man, I'm going to come back home. I thought of Rock Creek Park. I just saw Rock Creek Park. My family lived near Rock Creek Park. My brother and sister, they lived around there. So I love that. So I was like, let me come back home. And so I came back, man. I was just looking out for my mom. And she lives in Arlington. So I've just been here ever since 2012. I've been here in this area. I'm lived in DC a little bit. But I'm in Arlington. I tell people I sleep in Arlington, but I live in DC.
That makes sense.
Because yesterday I was in Maryland. I had to drive to Maryland twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wheaton area twice.
The DM.
Wow. Back to back?
Back to back, pretty much. Yeah.
So sorry,
man.
Hey man, it's for the love, bro. It's not that bad. It was a Sunday, bro. Traffic wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I definitely what I was thinking the other day. Why do I like to come to DC? Is because
keep calling you back.
Because there's flavor here. There's still mom and pop shops. There's still funky stores. There's still just different old buildings. Even the spot we're right here, this is a classic old school building. You were telling me it was a
detention center.
It might have been a detention.
Yeah, that's some lore.
That's people I've heard. Parole office, detention center, doctor's office.
Yeah,
it's actually a creative hangout for a little while. This
I have my studio right next door.
411.
411.
It's a throw parties at
411 Collective, man. That's where we were at right there. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
What was it called? Art Space or Space? I can't remember. I forget the name of it. I'm tripping. But yeah, we were on the second floor and we got the boot because they were building a hotel.
That's right.
And that's a whole nother story. But now I love coming to DC because it's flavorful. You in Arlington, everything's just strip malls and Starbucks and McDonald's and all. It's doesn't have that flavor. Everything's
There's
been
no
changed.
flavor in Arlington.
I mean,
It's got to be a little something.
There's a lot of murals.
I mean,
or at least I haven't.
I
Really,
got a couple
equal
murals
flavor?
in there. I got a couple murals in Arlington, but I really don't know so many murals out
yeah,
in Arlington.
well,
I could
I
be
remember
mistaken.
a couple summers ago. I don't know if they were permanent, but they had a walk that was like a bunch of murals that they created. I think it was maybe 3 years ago. Did
Yeah.
they ever take
They
that?
didn't invite me, man.
Yeah, they
didn't
invite
me.
you. Yeah, but do murals mean flavor?
Yeah, does murals
that,
equal flavor though?
Yeah.
All right, so that's a really good question because murals come from like free public art, made possibly, beginning from like thinking about graffiti in New York back in the 70s, 60s, around there, which has come out of like desperation, But nowadays murals are coming up to like make a neighborhood look nice, and it's built. It was like maybe founded by some big developer to make an area look like gentrified, so people would start coming there, and then once they start coming there, they'll like knock down all the buildings around it and put up like a nice funky park, or like I guess that's a good thing, but they'll put up like big high rises right next to it, so like art has been used to gentrify. Like if you think about Miami, Wynwood, I don't know if y'all ever been to Wynwood, but if you went to Wynwood back in like early 2000s, bro, Wynwood was like a car shop area. That's all it was, with car shops and like detail shops.
Really?
And then and it was like the hood. It was north of Uptown. I don't know if you know Overtown. Overtown is like was so grimy, and like but folks came there because they didn't have anywhere to paint. They painted murals in Wynwood because nobody cared. They're like, yo, paint a mural.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you go to Wynwood, bro, like the people are gone. There's like fancy ass hotels. There's like amazing fancy restaurants. Like it's crazy. It's crazy what the art has done to change like a whole neighborhood. Totally.
You know what? I'm so glad you brought that up because I was going to bring it up.
I'm
very curious. I'm very curious. We had a conversation with Chris Pyrate because Chris Pyrate told me, this might have to be 6 years ago now, that street art and muralist and graffiti art have now become like the first wave of gentrification.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, to someone who's been steeped in the tradition and the culture of creating this art style, like truly, how does it make you feel? Do you feel defeated? Do you feel like you still want to fight? Do you feel co-opted?
Yeah.
Did you sell out already? Did we miss it? What happened?
I mean,
are you the developer now?
are you
it,
happy, and do you feel like important, like you're part of a process? Because it is a process.
That's a good point.
Like, I don't know, it just makes me think of a mural that was done in this community center over in Alexandria for tenants and workers. And this woman came and she painted the mural on the building. And this was maybe 10, 15 years ago. She painted this mural. And now the mural is fading. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And the community center tenants and workers, they hit up the artist, like, hey, can you come back and fix this? But like back in that time, like she wasn't charging like that,
Right.
And I'm not trying to like throw shade on her because everybody has to charge their own. But at the time, she was not charging, and she had time to paint this mural for a community center. So it's probably not funded. But now they're like, yo, can you come and touch it up? She doesn't have time or money, and like she's like, yo, if I'm gonna do that, you're gonna have to like cough up. I mean, it's gonna be expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just to think about, like, when you're asking me about doing murals, like, I try to like keep it balanced, man. Like, if you're a big company, I'm gonna charge you, because y'all got money. Like, let's spread the wealth. I'm gonna take that, because if you're not gonna pay me a lot, you're gonna pay some other artists a lot. So let me get that money, of course. But if it's like a little mom and pop shop or something, or like a neighborhood homie, or even yesterday, I helped make this banner for this like immigration rights collective, over in Montgomery County, and like I'm not charging people for that. So I think I really love doing projects that are like the grassroots for the people projects. Right. Like that's really what keeps me alive.
Okay.
It makes me feel like I haven't left my community, my village, Right.
Yeah.
But you give me a project to do something big, like for some big company like New Balance or like Nike or something, I'll be there, because that is going to help me fund, to help spread my message, so I can go back and do stuff back in the community.
Right. So as you were talking about that, I'm thinking about the other side as well. I'm thinking about in Wynwood and these auto shops. Are you experiencing kind of like the reverse, where people are trying to take advantage of your art to build the value of their particular business? Is that happening on the community side, or is that just big business trying to take advantage of the art so they can use it for development? Do
You
you see
know,
like
like-
mom and pops being like, please help me, and then raising their prices for sandwiches 3 times? Do you see that happening?
Nah, I don't see that happening.
Okay, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. That's right.
I don't see that happening, but they probably should though. But I feel like there are like Wynwood. We used to go there and paint for free.
Right.
You know, people are like, "Yo, just paint my building, no problem." You know, like everybody was cool with it. And but now they're like, you want to paint my wall? You're gonna have to pay. You know, and it's like really crazy. And like now you got this
Wait,
big,
the artist?
yeah, the artist gonna have to pay to like paint that wall. Like, you want to paint that wall? I've never paid to paint a wall.
I mean,
you know, that's like against.
as a business, it makes sense. If you have 300 artists asking you to paint your
I didn't
wall,
even know that was a part of the process.
Why not? That has happened.
I mean, it's like in music too, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
there's pay to play opportunities, which we frown upon generally. But in that sense,
payola.
I mean, yeah, if you were trying to get your art out there, but I feel like social media in general would be even a better sell, like doing something more risky rather than, you know,
yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
For sure. And then you have like these big corporations that might take over like a mural festival or something. And like literally, I have not had this happen to me because I just haven't really got into those projects, you know. Maybe I could be a little bit more like better at planning and reaching out. But like this year was like Wynwood, like Miami Art Basel just happened, you know, in December. Man, I didn't have the energy to just go and just try to like reach out to people like, hey man, let me get a wall. That's like literally what it is. You go there like, yo, let me get a wall. And like luckily I think I have enough friends now that are like, Federico, I got you on this project and stuff.
Oh, nice.
But like even the energy when you go to Miami and Wynwood, like for me, it's just like you have like one DJ across the street, then you got another DJ across that street, and then you got another DJ. It's like crazy. You got like 4 musics going on, and it's like a ton of people, and it's kind of wild. It's like, and back in the, like, I don't want to say like, when it was a little bit cooler, you know, you would walk down the street, you see artists, you run into your artist friends, it's like an artist like hangout. Everybody coming from all over the world to kind of kick it. But now it's just like frat brothers and like just like people that don't even really know why they're there. They don't even know that it came from art. They just know that there's a club there and they're gonna go party, and they're like, you can get a good selfie photo in front of a mural, like you know, like those like the like selfie murals, you know?
Yeah, kind of like South by Southwest, you know, how South by Southwest started with bringing all of these, you know, people together from the whole world to showcase their music, and now it's just kind of like a party.
Now it's kind of like a party. It's like washed away
and still fun, but
which I think is part of anything that happens. You know, you eat at a restaurant for so long, you're gonna get tired of it. You're gonna have to do something else. So I think like there are new kind of like vibes that are happening, new mural festivals, spots that people are going to now. Even in like Colombia, there's a spot called Comuna 13 in Medellin, and it was literally a neighborhood that like they built this metro cable, which is like this gondola that'll go up to the mountains, like neighborhoods that never used to have like never used to have any like buses would go there or anything. Like they're up in the mountains, but they built this gondola type metro system to help help the neighborhood like with this like help the neighborhood thrive. You know, bring people to the neighborhood. So there's this barrio called Comuna 13, which is like really kind of like a low income like community, you know, like toughly impacted folks out there. But they started painting walls out there because now people had access, and now it's like this huge tour, like they be having huge parties there. It's like a huge like tourist spot, like, and it's really brought up the community, and like now the people that live there see the value of this artwork. It's not like Wynwood, you know, like it's kind of like Wynwood, but these are people's homes, like little, like poor folk, you know, that now is just like this thriving industry of like tourists coming from like Sweden, Japan, all over the place, you know?
That's fascinating, man. That's fascinating. It's fascinating on a lot of levels, but the question that's coming to my mind now is, how is a mural artist, like, how do you sustain yourself? Because you don't sell your...
I eat oatmeal, bro. I'm starving, man. I'm hungry. You could hook me up. Does this joint come with free lunch, bro?
You gotta understand that
Sorry.
Wow. Because I'm what, like, so like, it's going back to the thought of gentrification and the thought of these artists adding value to neighborhoods and community, I'm having a hard time figuring out how that brings value back to the artist.
Yeah.
And I'm right now I'm like worried about you. Like how are you doing that?
Yeah. I mean,
Or what's the goal? Because the word to our conversation with Chris, he also said he's surprised at how many people are dependent upon like grants. So he's like,
yes.
So then how as an artist do you sell? So like then what is the goal other than express, of course, right? But like on the business side.
I mean, being an artist is not easy.
Right.
You know, like I think people look on social media and like they've hit me up like, Federico, I really want to paint a mural. Like, show me what to do. Let me come out with you. But like really nobody did that for me. You know what I mean? Like I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have books where I didn't have like YouTube to learn about how to use a spray can or how to make a stencil. Like, bro, I learned that on my own, you know? And I had maybe a friend that like was like, yo, I'll take you under my wing. Or like, look, we're going to go paint. So, being an artist is not easy, man. And people think that you can just like make some artwork and be like different and like it'll happen overnight. But like literally like I have to know how to do film. I have to know how to like cut stencils. I have to know how to email people back. I gotta make sure I have my website right. You know, I gotta be able to talk with people. You know, I gotta be like sober. I have to be awake. I gotta keep coming up with new ideas. I gotta like know how to use Photoshop, Illustrator. You know, like I don't just paint walls. You know, I do graphic design. Like I make clothes. Gotcha. You know, it's like for me, like if you ask me, you have to do everything. Yeah. You got to try to do it all.
I understand.
You know, and I think like some artists thinking they're gonna get it easy. So like for me, I feel blessed because I try to do it all. I got a little gift for y'all. I do prints, you know, I do murals, I do logo design. You know, I just try to do it all, and doing it all kind of is like I'm not saying I do it all, but I try to do a lot of different facets of stuff, and I think that's what keeps me alive. You know?
Got you. Okay.
You know, so if it's like wintertime right now, I could maybe do some live visuals with you, you know, on the computer.
No, definitely.
You know, animation work, or maybe I can just do like some paintings in my studio. So I do painting work. Like you went to Umbrella, and you saw my work there.
Sure did.
So I got stuff on canvas also, not just on walls.
Right.
You know, so just trying to keep it versatile. And I think like people don't know that like they think they can just like paint a mural and then just like and then be a millionaire and then all their money's gonna come in. But it's like a steady race. You just gotta go slowly, just keep going and just keep on and praying and being thankful, man. Always grateful, you know?
Yeah.
And always just like trying to like and like stick back. I always try to go back to my community and work with them because they are the ones that keep me humble. You know, like people are getting snatched up by ICE right now, and people are getting like deported and all kinds of crazy shit is going on right now. And so like when I go back to the community and make sure I'm working with them, doing stuff to support them,
there you go.
I feel grounded. It's not just about the money. It's like, wow, I'm doing what I feel as a human being, as like a citizen in this world at this time. I'm doing good. So like, if I'm not getting money, somebody's going to be there to look out for me because Federico, he was looking out for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, that,
I hope.
no, I think it's happening. When I talk to artists, I often wonder how they connect the things that are happening in the world to their art. Because there are some people who look at the perspective and they'll say, like the Golden Globes were last night, and they'll say, how can these people be celebrating the arts and be dressed up in these fancy clothes while X, Y, and Z is happening? But I think you hit the nail in the coffin. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm using my art to still support my community. We still need protest signs. Yeah. We still need design for the community center. We still need the ways to make things visually, aesthetically pleasing so people can join the fight. I'm hearing that. Okay.
Yeah. The little Caribbean shop around the corner that you talk to, the lady, she needs her T-shirts. Like,
she sure does.
Yo, I know how to make you T-shirts. Yo, you need a logo? I'll try to make you something real quick. Or I got you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. No, I see that. Okay, I feel that. And that kind of connects to like the history of graffiti art. But I think I heard you say off cam you were talking about graffiti writing. Yeah, I had never heard somebody use that term before. Before we get into more about graffiti art, tell me more. What's the difference?
So writing is like, are you a writer? That's what we'll say to somebody.
Okay.
You know, and I think like not a lot of people know that, but if you're a writer, that means like it's like almost saying like the poetic way of being like a graffiti tagger. You know, people say, do you tag? And like if you are a writer, like people are like tagging. Like that's kind of like preschool words. You know what I mean? And so as a writer, if you write graffiti, you're a writer.
Wow.
So you know you're writing on the wall.
Do you consider yourself a writer?
You know, I come from a graffiti background.
Okay.
When I was in New York, I was painting graffiti, and when even growing up here, I started doing graffiti here in DC area in DMV. So I consider myself like trying to always represent the graffiti culture. You know, always honoring it. Super thankful because like graffiti literally make a little sketch in your notepad when you're at school or something, and then you take that little ass sketch, you might rip it out of the book and take it to a wall, and you take that little sketch and you put it on a wall that's like this big. You know, so that's the like classic like staple element of taking a drawing and turning it into something big, which is like what you need to do as a muralist.
That to me, it blows my mind. I don't know how y'all do that. I don't see projections. I don't understand.
Yeah.
My brain cannot comprehend how you take something like this and put it onto a wall.
Yeah.
I need you to break it down.
Yeah.
I need you as much as you can. How does that happen in your brain?
Well, will you break down how you have like 5 cameras connected to the computer with all the wires and the right cameras?
I mean, that's easy, bro. Like they have holes. You just put it in the hole.
That's easy.
What? Wow.
I mean, it's
You're
like,
blowing my mind, man. Okay.
you know, it's practice, you know, like you have had practice doing it, you know? And it's like doing that and like, yo, you are gonna fuck up. People, like this shit will not come out right, you know? And you can't just be like, oh man, I'm gonna give up. You know, if you gave up when you know you probably have many technical issues
Just
with
today,
it.
man.
Oh, yeah.
You
know?
Yeah.
You figure it out.
That's right.
You gotta
That's the
believe.
beauty thing. That's the beautiful thing about art. Like you figure it out. Like you, oh man, my sketch doesn't look right. You stand back. Sometimes I'll look upside down, bro. I'm like, what? Doesn't fit it. Well, like out in the mirror, you know, the car has the rear view mirror.
Yeah.
My homie would be like, yo, look in the rear view mirror of the car. I look at the mural and you're like, oh damn, the R is backwards, bro. I need to make it bigger because you're seeing it a different way.
Whoa.
You know, so you like, so there's different techniques. So you just keep like finessing
Fuck me
it.
up just now. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You just keep finessing it, man. And like sometimes you gotta walk away. Like, man, this piece did not come out the way I want, but I'm not gonna let it get me down. I'm gonna make another one, bro. I feel like so many people are nitpicking that. Oh, I need to fix this, and they'll fix stuff for like years. They'll be there. I've had friends, man, and I'm not gonna say no names, but they like take hours to sign their thing. They're like, yo, just sign it and let's go.
Let's
Get some food, bro. It's been like 3 hours. You
Yeah.
trying to get my tacos, man. You trying to finish your signature, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like I think about keep it moving, but learning, man, practicing, and not being so hard on yourself.
That sounds very musician. I
Sounds
often
very
say
what?
musician.
Oh
I
yeah.
often say, because I come from a trained musician background, I say often the thing musicians do the most is practice. We may perform
Bro.
4 times in our life,
Yes.
but we are actually in constant
Yes.
practice. But how do you practice? How do you practice a mural? Like, because I can throw, I play the saxophone,
Yeah.
I missed a note, it's in the air, nobody
Yeah.
will ever hear it again.
Yeah, yeah.
You got a wall.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, it's
how do you-
tangible. It'll be there presumably forever,
You
right?
can't knock down a wall every time you mess up, can you?
Sometimes you got to, man. You gotta get that pickup truck and knock right into it, bro.
Well, from a bit more of a technical aspect, I did have a question. So when you're making a mural, right, you talked about how you sketch things out, you know, you might, sketch out what you want to put on this huge wall. What techniques do you use? Are you going into after you make this smaller piece and actually like freehanding it, or are you using like a projector, which I've seen a lot of muralists do, like draw something out and then project onto it and get the outline? Are there any like techniques that you found to?
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's a funny people get upset about projectors. I have a friend that's like, I never use projector. Shout out to my brother Smokey and Chalac out there. Y'all are killing it. Amazing muralists out in Canada and stuff, killing it. But my homie Smokey was like, I saw him over the summer. He's like, I never used a projector ever. I'm like, my man. He is the freaking man. Like, get it, and that's all love. And so I feel like I do use projectors, you know? But I come from a background where I didn't have a projector.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've done this without projectors, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've had a big walls and I make a grid system, you know, that like matches up with my sketch. The same grid that's on my sketch is I make it on the wall.
Yo,
That's
what?
crazy. Yeah.
That is
I know, but
crazy.
I would.
Yo, your geometry
That's-
teacher would be so proud of
that's
you right
amazing.
now,
Bro,
man.
rest in peace to my geometry teacher. I loved geometry, bro.
Well, I knew it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll do a grid system, or maybe I'll like take a photo of this wall and like know like, okay, like, and I'll put my design over top of it and know, okay, like part of the head goes like where the TV is,
Right.
and then part of the hand hits like where that door is, and you can kind of use that. Or sometimes, man, you don't have time, you can't do it like that. You just freestyle it, man.
Yeah.
You just sketch it and stand back, and like sometimes I love having a brush on a pole. A big long pole, bro, and I was just like, you know, because you're not up, like you're up to the wall, you can't really see what you're doing.
That's true, yeah.
But you're far away, you're just like, oh man, that's a secret I'm gonna give y'all right now. Okay,
That was definitely a secret right
Yeah,
there.
that's
That was a good
secret,
one.
man.
That was
I
a
don't
good one.
normally like
I've
to tell
seen
my
that. That was a
secrets,
good one,
bro.
man.
But that's one that my friends have taught me, and but that I like, so you can do many different ways. But yeah, I use projector and I'll sketch it. You know, I feel like you have to be able to do both. And nowadays, people, they don't know how to do it. They're like, they're stuck on the projector.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do it on their own, which is cool. And I always kind of joke around, like, if you're in Brazil in the middle of the jungle, bro, you ain't got no electricity. How are you gonna do your
What you gonna
mural?
project?
You know what I'm saying? So you have to figure out something.
Yeah, I've even seen people use AR and VR, like the goggles.
My homie has the VR goggles,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, and then actually have a spray paint can.
Yeah.
You can see everything, or you can at least, I know you can draw. You could draw like the outline through the goggles, so you'll have everything that you need. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you upload your artwork into the goggles, so then the goggles are, and
I've only
used
seen
it.
videos of people doing it. Yeah,
Yeah, my homie, he got it. And so he actually did a mural. My homie Depps, big shout out to Depps. He had to do the mural on the ceiling. So he was like, man, this would be perfect for the VR goggles because it's like a long ceiling.
Right.
So he put the goggles on and he was able to sketch out this big octopus in this restaurant over here. It's called San Mar.
Okay.
She's open there.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have entered into a new part of the chat.
Yeah.
This is now
crazy.
I'm curious because I've been, as you've been talking, you know, we're a music podcast primarily. So I've been trying to translate this into a music situation. And me and Alex have had a conversation on this podcast forever. And it actually revolves around how technology makes art more accessible.
Yeah.
One of us believes that accessibility leads to a renaissance, a beautiful new era of artistry. The other person thinks that's the absolute downfall of all humanity.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I want to know, Mas, on what side do you lay? When you see these artists who are dependent upon technology to create their creations, do you feel like they're leaning more towards the future of a beautiful renaissance, or are they more indicative of a problem that we got to solve soon?
I don't know. I mean, it makes me think of like AI. AI is coming out and like, you can't even tell if it's real or not. You know, it's like that. So I'm like, whoa, that's kind of wild. But it's kind of like going back to the idea of like being in the middle of the jungle and you have no supplies. You got your brush. Like, are you able to perform?
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're back home and like you have a big project and you have like 5 minutes and you need to get the design on the wall, bust out the projector and use it. Like, use your tools. I feel like it's about using your tools. But I mean, it just makes me think about, you mentioned like jazz music or music.
Yeah.
Is that you think about like John Coltrane and some of these greats back in the day that didn't have that technology, and they made like the best music, bro. So I think it's like having that balance. Like, if you can do it with technology, do it without technology, and go out in the woods and play by yourself and like record it on a cassette tape. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Or don't even record it and just play it for the birds, and like be able to like understand the balance of like creating.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. What
I
do
know
you
he's
think?
leaning towards me, Alex. That's what it sounds. That's how he's leaning towards me.
Well, you said something that I usually bring up is, technology and AI, it's a tool,
It's a
right?
tool,
It's sometimes hand tools to power tools, right?
yeah,
Like, you can get the job done with the hand tool, but you might want to pull out the power tool to really. But one thing that really sticks with me about AI, and I don't really remember where BMO's at on this, is like I truly feel like art being something that humans create, AI is never going to be able to actually replicate, how it makes people feel, right? So I think that artists can actually maybe have more profit and tangible assets because of AI, because it's going to be like fine art compared to AI, right? Or like home cooked meal compared to McDonald's, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I already see it because people can look at things now and be like, that's at least probably AI. A lot of people,
They've got me, bro. Like,
they're at least
AI is
questioning.
not real. And my
People
friend
will
like,
question
Rico,
those.
that's AI.
No, for real.
And then he'll show me something. I'm like, yo, that's not real. That's AI. You know?
Yeah. But I truly do think that we're in a time when this is actually going to help us in the future. I really do.
The AI.
I mean, I think it's going to help artists because they actually have authentic means behind their art, and you can't really replicate it.
Okay, so you're
Like, you
saying
can get close, but it's
Yeah.
not going to hit the same way.
Yeah.
Like you might be able to fool yourself,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, that connection that the art creates, there's no way that a computer can actually make it.
Yeah, fingers crossed, bro.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I'm not as sure.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, man. Even how you described it, I was just now. It feels like we gotta wait for the AI lords to
take over.
flood the system. Then we'll get value.
Oh yeah, this is
Oh yeah.
At this point we're already in the tunnels.
It's too late.
And then we have the art, right?
What about Terminator 2 when he comes walking in and he like busts out his like DJ, starts playing? You're gonna know if it's Terminator 2 or you're gonna know it's real.
Oh man.
He don't know. He won't know until he's shot.
Yeah, I wonder. But yeah, kind of getting back to writing and graffiti. I was having a conversation with my friends earlier in the day actually, and we were talking about how Richmond has the most murals per capita.
Yeah.
Out of and this might have changed. This has been something people have been saying for like 3 years. But point is, Richmond has a large amount of murals.
Yeah.
We have around 300,000 people in Richmond, about 1.5 million metropolitan area. Something that's been happening in the past couple years is I'm not going to call them even collectives. There are graffiti artists who are based in Richmond, Virginia, or Virginia who are taking down murals that are not made by people in Virginia or Richmond, Virginia. I haven't specifically found all of the examples because there's so many murals, but none of the ones that, I deeply, deeply love really disappeared. But yeah, what do you think about that? Because at the end of the day, in the conversation I had earlier, we were saying how, these graffiti artists, they can get the same grants, they can talk to the same people, but is that really what graffiti is about? Like, it's probably the reason why they're not talking to the community and the government and, getting a grant to do something, or, talking to a business owner and being like, hey, could I set up, a mural here? That's not really what the culture is specifically about. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, I think like graffiti is so important because it's not about going to get a grant or like knocking on the wall and like, I think it's the art that is being put up literally for the people.
Right.
Like when you go to our communities, like you go to like a low income community and you look up and see a billboard for like some alcohol, some liquor, or you might see a billboard for McDonald's.
What a good comparison.
Billboard for some Rolex or something that like our folks don't need, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and like this is something that's being put into our communities without our voice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like why the fuck can't like a graffiti writer go and put their shit up in a community like without anybody else's voice? It's like their shit is worse. These billboards that are like affecting us and this crap that we have to see, that we are being forced to see. Like graffiti is doing the same thing, but it's actually art. It's actually something that's handmade. Actually something that might be coming from a Black and brown community, somebody from somebody that doesn't have that outlet to express themselves, but they have it with a spray can, So I think like anybody getting the graffiti up, I think is real good. I think like there's a balance of like, let me respect this like shopkeeper spot You know, like maybe there's an immigrant family. Let me not mess with them. You know, like I'll go paint on like a McDonald's instead, or do something. But you know, like there's a balance of respect, that you can have, and people have that, and people don't have that, and like that's up to them. But I think, and then when it comes to like murals, I think like it makes sense. There's some people that come out of town. Literally, someone painted a mural over on 8th Street. There was a Martin Luther King mural on 8th Street back in like 2012, 13. And then this dude came out of town. He was invited to come here, but he was from, I don't know, man, like Hungary or something.
Okay.
And he painted right over the joint, man. Like, it was just like a little mural of like Martin Luther. It was his face, but like, that's Martin Luther.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mean to bring that up, but like, that's a lack of like, that's like me coming to your house and like spilling a bunch of orange juice on the floor and kind of walking away and not saying sorry, or not even say, hey man, can I come into your house and like, can I spill this juice? Just like, is that okay?
Yeah.
Like I think like that's where art is really important when it comes to creating or doing anything. Like you gotta have a kind of a communication. You gotta have like a relationship with the community and the people that you're with.
Yeah.
So this dude came and he painted over that shit. I'm like, why the fuck did he paint over that? Why did this dude that was running the project allowed that shit? That motherfucker was not from DC. He's not like from that community.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. Like there's a big grant that was going on, and that fool got money, and I don't think he gave that money to the artists like that. So like there's a whole bunch of shady stuff going on with art and like grants and like paying for art.
There's a lot of money in those grants.
There's a lot of money in the grants. But like to come back, this dude didn't like respect that artwork. Yeah. So like when you have people that aren't respecting and they come into communities and paint some shit, they hop on their flight, fly away. Like I don't think that's cool, So I can understand that people are mad about that. Like, this mural is by this dude is taking money that would go to my community instead of he could have gotten the local artists like you, me, us, could have gotten the local people that like helps sustain that community. But instead you're paying this schmo that I don't know and that's gonna take that money and fly back to wherever they're from.
Yeah.
That's
so like
crazy.
And I think it's important, like if you're doing a mural in the community, try to like be like, hey, while I'm here, let's do like a community, let's do a community project. Let's get the kids to come help out.
Yep.
Or why don't I just like do some coloring pages with the school that's around the corner while I'm here?
Yep.
Or something, like I don't always do that, but I try to, man. I try to like, and even if kids walk by, I'm like, yo, here's stickers, or here, help me paint or something, I think like, so there's a balance to it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a good comp. I'd never thought if you get an artist from the community without permission, they are putting up an expression from that community. The moment you bring somebody else in to try to do that, it is like putting a billboard of somebody else's expression in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you going over Martin?
Like over Martin? Come on, man.
It's crazy. And it's a lack of effort on the community's end because it's like, especially with the city like Richmond, we all know that there's plenty of artists there. There's an influx from an established art school.
Yeah.
So they just didn't do the dirty work.
They do the due diligence, man.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And I think it takes a little bit of work just to kind of like make sure like, you're doing the right thing for your community. That's just like jumping in there and jumping out. Like, what can we give back? There's so much money out in this community. There's so much money out there, bro. Like, folks are hungry and the rich are getting richer. You know what I mean? So like, what can we do to try to balance that out?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting concept to touch on, especially with what's happening in America right now. I personally have been going to a lot of the protests in our community, and it's a lot of the places where they're set up. I get to look around, and it's really nice to see the spots that are popping up with murals in Richmond. It's actually a lot of it's staying away from a lot of the gentrified neighborhoods. Actually, like my neighborhood where I live in, they're trying to gentrify it. We have no murals we have like arts districts in Richmond. But yeah, I definitely want to touch on just the deportations and the ICE influence right now. I know earlier we were talking about how in Richmond we're I wouldn't say I'm grateful for it, but we're in a bubble. So we don't really have the kind of stuff that you're seeing online and, you know, the disgusting videos that really like hurt you. None of that stuff is really happening in Richmond. And the idea behind it that we think is because when the George Floyd protests happened there, we have a liberal arts college. So, and it's a pretty big one. So when that happened, it was very hard for them to defend the city. And then what happened after that was looting because they couldn't do anything to the National Guard, you know. So instead of fighting National Guard, we fought our own city and destroyed it. And we just rebuilt it. Like we literally, that exact strip where I was at a protest, a couple days ago, I was actually a little worried because I was like, damn, this is literally where all the looting happened. So if this actually does not be, you know, stay as a peaceful protest, I feel like we're going to do exactly what happened a few years ago. But yeah, I don't know where you stand on that, but I'd love to hear.
Man, I think like, I mean, the world is like getting more on fire and on fire every day. I'm like, what is going on? You know, but I think like there's a lot of unjust stuff that's happening. And I think like there's like pointing the finger at immigrants and I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just like, it's horrible. Like families are like losing a lot of fathers, you know, and kids are like without their parents nowadays, you know. Like my friend, his cousin a few months ago was driving down the street over in Alexandria, and ICE pulled him over, and that he didn't want to get out of his car in Alexandria. He didn't want to get out of his car, and like they broke his window and took him out. You know, it's like
that actually happened in Alexandria. I've seen them do that.
Yeah, and I can't. Window took them out.
That's crazy.
So it's like, and it's just like, I mean, what I'm talking about is just like pennies, and then like it's just like it's horrible, man. So like just I was mentioning just yesterday, I painted this banner for this like immigrants' rights collective,
right?
It's just because like as an artist, you know, what can I do?
Right.
You know, what can I do?
Yeah.
You know, I'm part of some like chats of like, if ICE does come into my community, we can go and like try to film and like get any information from the person they're like kidnapping, get their name, get their like find out where the car is, you know, try to take their car, you know, try to tell their family, find out where they're going, get like all the information of like the ICE agents or whatever the freak they are.
There's a text message line. We can put that in the description that you can join.
So I'm part of that, but I can't always do that, but I try to do it with my artwork, you know, like I'm trying to support. So like we made this really dope banner yesterday, and like all the folks of the collective, they're like, Federico, they love it, and they told me that they like it really inspired. There's like a collective in Baltimore, because they inspire folks in Baltimore to like go and make a banner because something's happening in Baltimore in the next few days. So I think that's what's beautiful about the artwork. Like we can make something beautiful to help highlight the voices of what's going on that's like horrible right now, you know?
Fuck, bro.
Yeah, and not to talk all political, but it's real out there, man. It's wild.
I don't even think that's a political conversation. People being snatched off the street.
Yeah.
And if we're putting that under the guise of like, oh, this is something you can vote your way out of. I don't think so, man.
Yeah, I don't think
There's some special evil going out on the street right now.
And it's the money, bro. It's the money. You're getting paid $50K to enlist as an ICE agent bonus, you know? So folks don't even really care no more. They're like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just trying to feed my baby. And that makes sense. But like, yo, like, where's the humanity going on? You know, it's like crazy. It's like slipping out the door, bro. And Trump is making billions, like trillions, like this year, you know? It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I might be uneducated on politics in like a very full way, but I didn't even know presidents could do some of the things that Trump.
I think a lot of people feel what you feel.
Yeah.
The president could do that? Yeah, I guess so. I guess. I don't know. No, it's on site when I see that, man. That's okay though.
But yeah, bring it to something lighter. I know you brought something for us.
Yeah.
I mean, to even segue a little better into that, at that same protest, and I'll send you this video. I was listening to a speech, and it was, I think, art against deportations in Richmond, and they were talking about how art is something that is a form of protest as well, and people making even like signs, like you're displaying your art, and that's something that's like part of the moment and part of history, and will transfer just like words can. So that was important. They also mentioned getting communities together, whatever community you're in, and like telling them about the direct action, the protest, whether it's like from a book club to, like I was talking about earlier, I'm in the music industry and the electronic music scene and the rap scene in Richmond. So it's like getting in those micro communities and just educating them on what you saw, or like the Instagram pages, sharing them so they stay updated with what's happening with the protests. Like every little bit helps. So
anything helps. And just for folks to be conscious and try to look out for each other. If we're all looking out for each other in these communities, like we're not going to be as alone, you know what I mean? And that's what we need. We need folks to like care, like look out for our neighbors, like, because they're snatching up everybody. You can be a citizen, bro, and they're taking you. Yeah. So, but yeah, I did bring y'all.
Before we go back down. America. Okay.
So I was running out the door. I was like, "Oh man, I gotta get y'all something." So
That's very
here's a little card. I just like kept it blank, but I thought I'd just share some artwork. So that's in there. That's a piece from Umbrella that I did.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna make some little cards.
Can the people see it?
For the holiday.
They can't see it.
I really like that piece. So, and then got a little stickers in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
oh yeah.
So I just want to share those with y'all.
This is fun.
It's just fun, like being able to make stuff, like for your artwork. And then, so now I was like, okay, I gotta get y'all a print. I don't like
Okay.
I don't like to give people prints, man. Like if they don't have a frame, so please forgive me. But I had to hook y'all up. We'll keep it political real quick. Had to hook y'all up with the Free Gaza joint. That's a screen print, real quick screen print joint.
Amazing.
And then I want to hook you up.
Just did. Yeah.
And then I want to hook you up with this print. That's another little piece I did for y'all.
Queen.
A little hand with the butterfly. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I'm a real print guy, so I appreciate it.
So hopefully if I see a frame, I'll hook y'all up with that.
Is this like block printed?
That is screen print.
Oh, screen print.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Of course.
We love gifts, brother.
Okay, good.
Well, Alex loves gifts.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Alex loves gifts, man. This is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, of course. My pleasure.
Up on camera.
My pleasure.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It was something. So thank y'all for having me here, man. It's like, I didn't know you guys were out here. I didn't know this studio existed.
Hey, here we are. We've been in this particular studio space for about 3 months now. Alex and I have been going along for 2 years.
Wow.
Years, yeah.
Wow.
2 years, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's great to have you here, man. We usually do, like I said earlier, we usually talk to musicians, but we have expanded out to visual artists before. And it's just so great to have a different perspective of the arts. And the more we talk to different artists, y'all are talking, it's all the same language.
Yeah.
It's just a different
very
execution.
synchronistic.
Like your execution is visual, other execution is more audio, but it's the same thing. It's like how can I develop? How can I help my community? How can I use my skill set and not necessarily just my outputs to be a benefit to humanity?
Yeah.
I mean, I see it, man.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
man. Trying to, man.
And you're not trying, brother. You're doing. You doing, man.
All right, you got any more questions? Or?
No, that was my last question.
You got any questions for us?
Man, y'all got the new fresh gear over here, man. I see what you guys are flossing on your feet, man. Like, what's up with that? Tell me about what's going on.
Oh man, we're gonna do like a little. I think Alex, like a little fake little commercial here in a second, a little spot ad. But no, we were in conversation with some advertisers from the area who were interested in supporting some of the DMV focused things we got going on. And New Balance is one of the people who actually like likes us.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Awesome.
It's cool to be included because New Balance is definitely like a staple in DC. So
Yes.
on like a micro, I wouldn't even say like micro influencer level. It's just like they picked certain people who are doing things now, and I see this as like really recording history to have
Yeah.
people on these interviews. So
Yeah,
that's
for
really
sure.
special to me, especially being for BMO is a transplant. I'm sorry to say.
You don't have to apologize, baby. I'm proud.
I'm from Northern Virginia, so like it feels really good to be included in like that DMV,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so very appreciative.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, y'all. If you get a chance to subscribe, like, download, and follow, we really appreciate it. You can find us on Instagram at the re-up ODCAST. You can also find us on Patreon for exclusive content.
Watch us on YouTube as well.
Thanks for your trust. Appreciate y'all.